and good evening, everyone. On behalf of All India Council for Professional Training and Research Private Limited, AICPTR, I would like to welcome you all at this webinar on careers in finance. The most dreadful job for parents is to opt for a good course for their child. Loads of confusion, lack of experience, guidance, or say lack of knowledge in the said field, and most obviously, peer pressure supersedes the aptitude of a child. In its first ever endeavor, All India Council for Professional Training and Research Private Limited, AICPTR, has launched a career series on the pretext of board results. So, just undertaking the best practice of investing in knowledge, let's directly get introduced to the resource person of today's webinar, Ashish Padhe.
Thank you.
Ashish is a practicing chartered accountant since last 3 years. He has to his credit as well as has successfully completed ICAI's post-qualification courses in Diploma in Information Systems and Audit and Forensic Accounting and Fraud Detection. So, over to you, Ashish, for having a peek into the finance service sectors so as to ward off any related confusions and reservations. Dear participants, I request you to post your questions in the chat box so that if time permits, we would be undertaking it. And in case, if it is not possible to undertake the questions due to time constraint, please all try to send us the feedback in the comment box. Over to you, Ashish.
Thank you. Hello and welcome everyone. First of all, I would like to thank All India Council for Professional Training and Research Private Limited for giving me an opportunity to share my views on today's topic, that is careers in finance. So, dear friends, what is finance all about? Over here, today we will divide our presentation in three parts, wherein I would like to provide you the basic know-how about what is finance all about. And also in the later half, I will provide what are the qualification and academics one can pursue in this field, what are the skill set required for this, and what is the time span of that. So let us begin our presentation by basic understanding of finance. Finance is heart. Finance is epicenter of any business organization in today's time. So if business in any business which is to be successful, it is of utmost importance that how the funds are managed, how its finances are planned, how its finances are organized. So finance over here becomes very critical, and a lot of success of every financial organization depends on your financial capability. So this includes your resources which are to be mobilized from right from its procurement to its deployment. So every aspect of financing is based on maximization of returns to the stakeholders of a corporate. As we all understood that finance is a critical part in success of any organization, so can't a career in this field be a promising one? It is very well said that if a business organization is a vehicle, then the fuel for running it is the finance. In this presentation, we will learn about various academic options available at our disposal, but we will not compare it with any other alternatives available, but keep our discussion restricted to the topic for today. So my friends, let us now understand what is finance. Finance, by the textbook definition, it is said that finance is an art as well as a science of managing money in order to achieve appropriate objectives. A thing what we need to understand over here is science as well as an art. Art because every person may differ in this in terms of skill set. Like a person may react differently in different types of situation. A science because It is the finance is based on certain methodologies. It is based on certain theories. It is based on certain meticulous calculations which are involved. That requires the person to take decisions based on whatever the theories have been implemented and are, because it is the knack of the person who is at the helm of the affairs. So various functions are under that umbrella of financing, which includes, say, borrowing, investing, lending, budgeting, savings, and forecasting. So what is borrowing, investing, lending, budgeting, etc. all about? This is day-to-day affairs of any organization which we learn about. And now when we are talking about building a career in finance, so we have to see that what are the functions we need to undertake and what are the domains that are available to our disposal. So finance can be broadly categorized in three major dimensions, that is personal finance, public finance or government finance, and a corporate finance. Over here, three major categories cover the entire macroeconomic picture of your finance division, which includes a personal finance, that is right from making decisions to our household, to your retirement planning, to your even monthly budgets for your grocery and say car rentals, or whatever the financial adequacy you require for your tax planning, for your investments. Major thing to take a note is that we have heard many people using this colloquially as I'm looking after my personal finance. So what is that? Personal finance has the objective of being, say, independent. So for that they will start investing now when they are earning, for so that their retirement thing gets sorted. Their financial position, because they jobs nowadays are getting, the environment is getting so dynamic that there is no surety about the future. Even in case of governments, they have been shrinking the job strength, so that in such type of scenario it is very much important to manage your resources at the right time, so that they are being used at the right time when it is required. Similar case happens with government. What is government? It is people's money for people, correct? So in our federal system of economy, over here we have state government and the central government. Central government as a whole depicts the country's financial strength, that is being measured in terms of GDP. So recently you might have heard news about India's GDP soaring high. We are among top five countries in the world where our GDP is to be is considered. What is GDP all about? Why is it that so particular about, and what makes it so important? GDP is nothing but a financial muscle strength in any nation. It is basically a backbone of any country. So once the GDP and your financial things are sorted, there is no dependent economic dependence on any other countries that may try to exploit you. Public financing also includes your fiscal deficit management, which includes how do you manage your imports and exports, so that you have to make the bill payments to the foreign countries in case of imports which are being made. So your GDP and your growth has a direct nexus. If a country is growing, if the returns are stupendous, that means that the resources are being planned and deployed correctly, because you have to harness the gap between the requirement and whatever is there, so that the public at the whole larger picture gets benefited. The capital expenditures are to be sorted over here. The next important part of your finance is corporate finance. This term, this term is a holistic picture which includes your day-to-day business activities, your budgeting capabilities, and even businesses that have been developed. So you might have heard startups, they are into terms of valuations for going for funding. Why funding? Finance over here is resource. Resource gives you any capability to get to your desired goals. We also saw that in the definition of finance, that is an art of managing the funds so that your objectives are achieved. So we'll take in later part of our presentation in detail about the corporate finance. Corporate finance also has a great impetus on careers. Many good careers can be linked through this. We'll see how the same can be taken. We'll now see what are the various roles of the available at our disposal. We saw three types of finance. Now these are the three. These are various types of roles that are available at our disposal, so that one can see what types of role one has to provide in case of the any of the three above finances. Let us now take a
Yes.
look at various alternatives available. Now the billion-dollar question after 10, what next? So this is I guess a case of every parent and student who is wondering after 10 now what is to be done, because not all the careers are available are catered to him according to your test. Now even people have started taking aptitude tests to know what they want. So over here now, when we have almost finalized that we are planning a career, if you wish to plan a career in finance, it is necessary to take commerce after 10th. Yeah, because commerce and your finance go hand in hand. There is also a system called as vocational. In case of Maharashtra State Board, provides it as an alternative, which is say hybrid mix of your 12th along with some practical knowledges about your accountancy professional. 11th and 12th are critical areas. Once you choose your commerce background, they are critical areas, not because they are academically important, but also they imbibe, say, good foundational values at your level. Uh, 11th and 12th are necessary for making a good foundation to the skyscraper of the career which we are planning to make. We will now see what are the various options available after 12th. So once you have already embarked your journey, we have tactically decided that commerce is the stream. There is wide range of menu available at our disposal, which includes your vanilla BCom, that is popularly known as vanilla BCom. It is just a plain BCom. So if anyone is pursuing say higher professional courses for which BCom may be just criteria for graduation, then BCom is the one which is to be looked after. It is a 3-year course and which has a graduation recognition from any of the recognized universities in India. It can also be done via distance mode. Apart from BCom, there are various hybrid aspects attached to it. So in case of Maharashtra, where Mumbai University has allowed to conduct some courses under the unaided program of college, some of these courses are hereby described as one, that is accounting and finance along with BCom. So over here, focus is provided on accounting and finance, wherein a role of accountant or a person who is just looking after a career by just graduation is the target, then one can surely look up to these varieties, because these are specializations, and always specializations are important because they supersede whatever is traditional, that is BCom. So they are more far, they are upgraded, they are better than your Bachelor of Commerce vanilla degree. Similarly, in case of banking and insurance, now BFSI, as you have heard, banking, financial institute, insurance companies, so they are closely termed as BFSI. So when you choose BFSI as your sector of core sector of practice over there in making a career over there, then Bachelor of Commerce in Banking and Insurance (BFI) can be undertaken. In case of financial markets, say you like stock markets, the bonds which are exchanged, the commercial papers, the forex, the treasury management, etc. All these functions, if you are well versed with the say derivatives and financial market, the stock markets, then one can choose this. This is purely depending on the interest of the candidate. Over here, you can always be a part of some brokers or some insurance companies which have their positions opened in case of cross country trade, in case of exchange trades. So here they have a niche career over banking, over financial markets. Similarly, we have Bachelor of Commerce in Business Administration and Bachelor of Commerce of Management Studies, BMS and BBA. So again, these courses are for undergrad courses for 3 years, and they are only available under the unaided alternative, which is a miniature version of your MBA, which is available. So this course are slightly expensive than the traditional BCom courses are which are offered, just because the reason that they are offered by the institutes. Some reputed institutes do provide them, and those have some niche sectors, because I've seen campus placement for the BMS and BBA far better than your BCom students. Now, once we have selected any of the graduation, we shall foresee what happens next. What are the options available? See, education is a constant process. You can't just stop at a particular point saying that you are perfect at the particular time. The books keep on changing, the knowledge gets updated, the technology which was latest one yesterday, today is outdated. So after graduation, Master of Commerce, that is the fundamental option available anytime for the people who are considering a further studies after graduation. So over here, PhD is say doctorate of philosophy. So over here, one can ensure that the PhD is done. Just one is having a motive of making career in teaching. So PhD is very much important. Along with that, I have mentioned NETCHET, that is national eligibility test and state eligibility test. If a person is trying to make a career in say teaching, that is also a good lucrative career. Over here, PhD can also be sought. Apart from that, the professional courses like CA, CS, CMA, that is Chartered Accountants, the Company Secretariat, and the Cost and Management Accountant. See over here, this is not an exclusive list, but just to mention that the courses can be initiated. So I'm pinpointed few courses. Apart from that, I can state that Diploma in IFRS is a new course that has been gaining popularity among the corporates. This is because that IFRS, that is International Financial Reporting Standards, because earlier what was happening, every country had their own laws. Because now when the concept of global village is becoming true, investors are turning out to be of cross border. So IFRS is just like a standardization of the reporting standards. For example, a thing which is presented in a particular manner in India may not be acceptable in say United States. So how do United States and India converge? So these are IFRS that are followed globally. Apart from that, actuarial is also a niche area wherein actuarial means a statistician. They are good with numbers. So generally, major people are from science background over here. Basic reason being their mathematics being of a higher upgraded version than what the commerce are being offered. So actuarials are used in insurance companies. It is not a mandate that only science background people are there. So also commerce people can try out on it. The actuarials are used in insurance companies to determine what will be the claim available, what is to the premium to be charged, what is they are basically working on permutations and combinations. Apart from that, LLB is a deadly combo. It can really work well with all those who are dead serious about making a career in some corporates, because LLB will give you an upper hand in gaining such higher knowledge about the laws, whatever are there, whatever are prevailing, because every corporates, every startups will not require a whole-time lawyer by them. But in case you are having that LLB degree and you are able to help them in uh, giving them insights, so they will technically help you out in retaining and building a good career out of it. Apart from that, certificate courses from reputed institute, say like NISM is there. Then even you can hear it out on edX, or say uh, home learned, that is distant education from various international universities. Recently I heard about the Python course being provided free of cost by Harvard University due to COVID-19 as a way of giving. So one has to add to its portfolio this certificates, because not only they provide a various skill sets, but they upgrade and keep you updated. It also ensures that the probability of you being hired are higher, because these courses are technically with not all the people. We shall now see what in second part of our presentation, what are the various types of core academics, what we can do if we have to make a career in finance. Now, depending on the time availability at disposal, the personal aptitude, the resources, these three courses have gained major popularity in last decade. That is CFA, CPA, and CFP. Yes, the three C's, they are ruling the market as of now, because financial analysts, that is for people who are at the helm of affairs in case of treasury management, they are good with numbers, and well, all the people who like numbers are liked by everyone. So over here, they are companies who are involved in huge voluminous transactions, they require the CFA, so that they just organize their finances and ensure that the processes are streamlined, because they have a knack of having quantitative methodologies to analyze their securities. Another popular course is CPA, that is an equivalent of a chartered accountant in another countries. However, that is not as tedious as our Indian chartered accountants is there, but over there, maximum 4 to 5 subjects are there in every country, so that are to be undertaken. Similarly, CPA is more dominant in case of United States of America, say in Australia, Canada. So if one has to ensure the job, or say has a planning to settle abroad or study abroad for a particular period of time, CPA will give them a upper hand, because all the countries in now in case of India, all the MNCs, say from France, say from USA, say from Australia, when they are planning to invest in India, they will require people who are able to make them understand over there. So you will be like a mediator who knows uh, over here also, and also of the rules of their own country. Certified Financial Planner. The CFP, Certified Financial Planner, is a person with having a skills who has a knack to ensure what kind of financial need a person is going to require, or a company is going to require, and what are the mitigations for that. That is they will come up with a say investment plan. They will ensure whatever the resources are there now, how to deploy it so that desired goal may be achieved. Even this course can be done as an addendum, because this opens the prospects for higher salary opportunities. Even in case of the CFA, I would like to mention that it is a three-level examination that has to be done. It is good for your uh, your career portfolio, because that will help you in making sound in case of treasury management and forex management. So again, here you would like to have your own likes and dislikes over here. In case you are liking forex, treasuries, and financial markets, then CFA is surely an option. You need to look it out. Here comes the major, that is three degrees in case of commerce, that is chartered accountancy, company secretary, and cost accountant. So over here, the company secretary that you have heard about, that is by ICSI, is again a three-level examination, which includes CS Foundation, CS Executive, CS Professional. Well, for you, you might have even heard chartered accountants, but company secretaries are also key managerial persons behind a successful organization. They are on the board of the companies. They are at the affairs of statutory filing with the listed companies. In case of listed companies, having a company secretary is mandatory. They have to ensure that secretarial compliance, which includes registrar of companies filings are done on time, the compliance of Companies Act, that is the governing act of all the body corporates. Also, they have to ensure that all the meetings that are being conducted, may it be an annual meeting or even a board meeting, they are the people who are at response for making minutes. Right from that, their validation, whatever is their viewpoint, it matters for any organization. So if a person is having a good time in theories and theoretical subjects and having a good tank of also laws, then CS is a option that one can choose, because over here majority subjects are theory driven, because law cannot be subjective. It has to be perfect. It has to be precise. It has to be clear. So over here, a person having good capacity to have a mug up skills, in short, over there can can apply for company secretarial post. Apart from that, another career which can be chosen for is cost management accountant. Now, CMA by the Institute of Cost Accountants of India is a good course, which again is of three levels. The cost management accountants are expected to provide their insights on the cost management. See, resource, the revenue cannot be generated. Revenue generation is purely dependent on external factors. But whatever you have in your control is the cost. So, in order to reduce your cost, or say ensure giving you a proper analysis of whatever your products are, what is the dynamics of your product, what is profitability in case of each segment of the product, cost accountants have their skills bang on to ensure whatever costing is done. Costing means, say, if a product, if say for if I have to sell this mouse to you, so what components are required in mouse? So what is the raw materials? What is the direct and indirect cost available to it? What is the marketing cost? What is the profitability? They, in short, analyze their margins on it. They provide an upper hand for analysis to the management. So even government has made it mandatory for some FMCG companies, some tobacco companies to get their books even audited for cost management audit. So that gives a clear picture of what the money of investors is going in a profitable direction. Companies, this cost management accountants are nowadays also given powers to equivalent to that of chartered accountants in limited rule. So if one is fond of cost and its related theories, so costing is the alternative to them. Here comes the most talked about course in case of commerce. So I also take a pride in speaking about this course because I am of this fraternity. Chartered accountancy course, again, it is boasted about being, say, next to impossible because of its various complexions and limited result, whatever is the outcome. This is again a three-leveled examination that is called as CA Foundation, CA Intermediate, and CA Final. Over here, I would take a bit long to explain on this. CA Foundation can be started just after you have written your 11th examination, because once you have in my case, I had started preparations for CA final, for CA foundation, sorry, in in case after my writing my 11th standard examination, because the original target was as soon as you write your 12th standard examination, you have to provide for your CA foundation. So which technically means that I had started two professional courses at the same time, because CA Foundation already took care of whatever was there till BCom in CA Foundation itself. And once I cleared my foundation, which is objective based examination, now some theoretical parts have been included. It has 4 subjects, which includes your accounts, mathematics, laws, and your communication skills, basic English. That is, if you are able to strike through, you are able to give CA intermediate exam. That is CA IPCC. Now over here, this literal, you can understand whatever the myth about that examination of being very critical starts over here, because this has lower percentages, that there's a huge portion to conclude, and also there is limited time, because as soon as you have cleared your CA foundation, within a year's time you can apply for this examination. This itself has 7 to 8 subjects to be covered with, and passing percentage are same like your finance, that minimum 50% overall marks are required to secure, which sometimes becomes a difficult task because of the complexities and ever changing tax laws in our country. So CA intermediate examination can now be given after your SY, or during say SY BCom is being considered, so that your articleship, which is important essence of CA final examination, is embarked. You require 3 years of dedicated service under any practicing chartered accountant to be eligible for giving CA final examination. So under these 3 years, you are rigorously working for the skill sets that are required to establish yourself as a great chartered accountant. Following things must be noted, that even in case of CA final examination, that is purely after your within a year from completion of your 3 years, if all things go well, if all the dedication, all the sacrifice you are able to make it, you can surely get a good career out of it. Because what CA final asks is your focus, entire focus, your dedication, your perseverance, your hard work. Because even in my case, I never had the time even for getting on social media. That is just because you had your school colleges, you had your colleges on, you had your projects to be submitted to the college, you had to visit your articleship, you had a boss earlier than when everyone was roaming around. So after that, you have to study in the limited time and ensure that every effort you put it has to sail through. CA final also again is one of the complex examinations in this country, not because of its vast diversities. It is because of the dynamics in the laws and also the statutes that are being done. For example, your tax laws change every year because of the Finance Act getting upgraded and newer sections coming in. Even your Companies Act, that concludes your law portion. As a chartered accountant, you need to be a holistic person with having knowledge of at least every aspect that a business is required to run about. Over here, this is inverse pyramid pattern. That is, entry may be easy, unlike your MBAs, because say in case of MBA examination, your entrance is quite difficult as compared to CA final, your CA foundation examination. However, once you are in through your MBA examination, you can always ensure that you have a valid MBA degree after that. But this is not the case in case of CA final, CA chartered accountancy, because even if you complete your CA foundation, there is still chance that CA intermediate and CA final won't be there. Even if you are able to crack CA intermediate, CA final still gives bad dreams to the students of this paper. But once the course is completed, there is n number of diversions available to you, because CA itself is a major universe. Under that, you can make your subset into, say, if you have to practice over here, you can practice. If you have to be into your IB investment banking, in your consultancy, if you have to do valuations, if you have to do fraud detection, that fraud detection is also a new course, because of a recent n number of fraud cases are popping up. Apart from that, the liquidations and all those stuff, that is your insolvency professionals. Chartered accountants, major chartered accountants are insolvency professionals. That is, once a business is not a viable option, that is, it is not able, that it does not make sense in running, keeping this business alive, chartered accountants are required to ensure that they businesses are liquidated properly and proper portions of the takeaways are made to the stakeholders. CA final, once it is pursued, chartered accountancy opens door for various horizons. By sitting over here, you can also ensure that by getting the certified public accountant's degree in case of USA or any other country in which your clients foresee, you can technically be a chartered accountant for both the countries. Over here, this gives you upper hand because chartered accountant has also have the signatory powers in this country. Every balance sheet which requires your, even for your raising your funding, or in case of submitting to your income tax, it requires to be attested by a chartered accountancy because the signature matters over here. So this course can surely be a great ambitious one to whom it is to be sought to. The next most talked about course in case of field of finance is MBA. As we all know, MBA is a knack of managing resources, managing people, managing business. MBAs are taught right away by using various case studies in case of various business situations. All major Fortune 500 companies have their CFOs having this degree in common. Why? Because MBA makes you more holistic, it makes you more vibrant, it makes you to take decisions more rationally as compared to other professionals. Over here, I have listed few elite schools of business that in India as well as abroad that one can choose in. Over here, it is IIM Kolkata, IIM Bangalore, IIM Ahmedabad, FMS Delhi, SP Jain, and Jamnalal Bajaj in case of India. One thing I'd like to mention over here is this is not again exclusive list. This is as per 2019 records available to us. MBA from any of the schools require entrance examination. Now I have mentioned names of examination, that is in case of domestic, that is Indian foray, you require CAT, CET, NMAT or XAT. So this CAT and CET are the examinations which are prerequisite based on the marks available to it, based on the percentiles you have achieved. You get the admissions from IIM Kolkata, Bangalore, and Ahmedabad. So again over here, since your CAT and CET has major focus in case of mathematics, most of the engineering background students are the outnumber the commerce students. Not because of their mathematics, it is just because that they have a upper hand in case because they have already studied complex mathematics, which is a peanuts for them in this. So in order to ensure that not only sector specific students are enrolled, various IIMs have taken an initiative to put a quota for commerce students. So they basically select a student, a candidate, not only on its academics but also on various activities such as your sports, your any other, so your servings into your services towards the society, which includes your philanthropy, say, or even they may select you even in case your academics are poor, but say you have your startup, you have done something vibrant than the routine stuff. So over here, various IIMs are of elite leagues. They have limited number of seats for their intake, which depends not only on the work ex but also on various other, as I mentioned. So try and balance your life so that all the goals whichever are there are achieved holistically. So in case of selecting a candidate, they may even ask for an interview before finalizing your seat. So the CAT and CET outcome purely depends on how much efforts you put in, because those are not easy exam but not an impossible though. So good determination, good practice, good perseverance may help in getting good colleges and interview, because over here you might have heard someone is ready standing you with an invitation for the job. These are elite leagues. All the alumni of these colleges are either CEOs, CFOs of various big organizations, the independent directors, the presidents, all the big names are associated with these colleges. Similar is the case in case of abroad business schools, which is Wharton Business School, the Yale University, the London School of Economics, the Harvard Business School, the Stanford University. All the Fortune 500 companies, CEOs, and the founders, even the past presidents of the United States, are somewhere associated with this. Even in this case, I would categorically mention Harvard Business School, because it has literally earned and managed to save its name in past many decades, because getting an entry in this school itself means a big thing in this career, because your classmates will either be a future US presidents, or say US Fortune 500 company CEOs, or a unicorn startups. So in order to ensure entry in this, you require a GMAT, a TOEFL, or a GRE examination to be pursued. Not only Indian colleges select you on the basis of the criteria of your academics. Over here, they even go detail based on your any social activities you have done, any charity or charitable organization. That is the reason that many of the students who want to pursue a career over here are enjoying company with NGO, not because they are liking it, but because the elite schools like it. Harvard Business School and the Stanford University are good names that even are remembered, so that becomes your first priority in getting in these Ivy League colleges. Fees are tremendously high, they cost you in crores, but in case you are academically bright and your CV are shortlisted over there, they end up in giving 100% scholarships to you. So a detailed study before starting what you want to exactly do is a great thing, because once you are having the badge of any of the colleges above, is surely going to make a huge difference in your life later on. Another important career which we as common people do not seek is UPSC examination. Yes, UPSC. Why? Because as I stated, that finance is not only of your personal level, but also or also of a corporate level, but also of your, say, government as a whole. Well, government is not a separate entity. It is made by people like you and me. So over here, in order to manage resources of a huge country like India, this domain can work very well for all those people who are very much adventure, who wish to seek any more adventure in their career, because UPSC IAS examination can open domains for various things, because they are in charge of huge powers at the level of IAS. Because even you can see by IAS, your basic posting starts with your district magistrate, who is a collector in colloquial terms. So with great powers comes the great responsibility. Again, managing the resources, ensuring great distribution of the resources is done, so that maximization of the public welfare is done. IAS examination is again three-staged examination, having some age limitations to it, and also and within how much time you have to complete it. So these examinations are conducted by Union Public Service Commission. Over here, the cadres are dependent on the state from which you apply to. From becoming a UPSC personnel, after clearing UPSC examination, you can choose your career into IAS or IRS. IRS is specifically Indian Revenue Services. It is a subset of UPSC examination. Uh, all the taxation departments, which includes your direct tax, indirect taxes like your income tax, your Central Excise Board, your GST department, all of them have top notches are from UPSC. They are IRS, and their cadre is equivalent to that of secretary or that of government. This is a niche sector which one can pursue it, because at the end this is not only a serving to the nation, but also it helps you to survive, provide your services to the public as a whole. Now, once we have seen all the careers in finance that are available and can be highlighted, now we shall see. I have tried to carve out various segments or the domains. Like, now it's okay, chalo, we have understood whatever the career opportunities are there. But what I have to do as a person? Suppose if I have done my chartered accountancy, then what next? Over here, I have tried to carve out various roles in it. What are the various key domains, key sectors, key highlights possible in case of every type of financial organization. Now, in case of, say, banking sector, that we all know, banks are nothing but the backbone of any economy. They are having various critical functions at their level. So, in this niche area, we have identified commercial segment, sales and trading, equity and investment banking. Now we'll try and understand what is commercial segment. So commercial means, from the banking perspective, that any proposal or any investment opportunity comes to them. So to determine the value of that investment, for example, if someone has to invest, comes with a proposal to any banking house that I want this much of loan in it for making this project. So is that project viable? Is that project going to pay off the bank debt? Is the money going to be used as what the promoter is trying to say? All this analysis is done by professionals sitting under commercial segment. Commercial involves transaction which includes, say, your credit heads are there of the loan. Credit heads have the ultimate authority to ensure that whatever loan is being sanctioned in case of banking sectors, that this will be done. Apart, without their consent, no loan can be processed. So this is the power of their credit heads. Similarly, there are sales and trading segment in case of banking industry, which includes your not that talent requirement is there, because over here you are not expected to make some decisions. This is more at a front office level job, which includes your cross selling, like your relationship managers, selling of the liabilities like your fixed deposits. In case of equity research is again a prominent area wherein your CFA, the CAs, and the MBAs play a major role in this equity research. Now, what is equity research? Equity research, as the name suggests, equity means your capital. Now, they are not putting their own capital but their customers' capital. So, they have to be ultra cautious regarding whatever decisions they are taking, whatever uh, stocks they are choosing for their customers. Say, for example, in case of banks, they have the back-end integration of their customers for with their demat accounts. So demat is basically an account from which you can do trading in case of shares and mutual funds. So which share to buy? They are often come up with a study suggesting that you buy these shares, that this will be having a great demand in future, and they will provide you XYZ return on your investment. Apart from them, there are companies like Goldman Sachs, the Crisil, the McKinsey, who are into rating business. So equity research not only means from investment perspective, but also from a viability perspective. In case of equity research, it is necessary for any of the organization to get their ratings done, because they give a third party view on what the business is going through, and what is the rating available to it. So they have categories from A to C, whatever categories are allocated apart from with regards to your financial perspective and viability, the ratings are given. Then the major sector that comes in case of banking as a career as a whole is your investment banking. So here in case of investment banking, as I told, It includes forex, treasury management, the bonds market, the commercial papers, whatever transactions are done, they are in millions. So in case of million of transactions, you require at most good hands in case of managing the finances over here. So people who are at IB are MBAs in finance, the CFAs, and sometimes the chartered accountants play even a better role over here because they are well versed with the valuations aspect also, because when to buy, when to sell, because they are their positions opened in case of cross border transactions, so they have to take care of that. Similarly, there are careers in various institutions which include your portfolio management, your private equity and research. Again, over here, more or less, the domains are same, valuing, buying a valued product, because it is a good quote that price is what you pay and value is what you get. So getting a value for investors is at most important to the financial career in case of any of this institution. So portfolio management and your private equity, they manage your portfolios and provide capital in when you might have heard about your venture capitalist or a startups who require funding. Again, finance, as I stated earlier, is a resource. In order to source that resource, they have to go through the private equity and research for a domain so that that provides a value addition to every investor they go with. Our next slide speaks about financial careers in corporate sector and financial careers in public accounting. So in case of corporate sectors, corporate development. Now what is corporate development? Corporate development is all about expansion of a business house. New conglomerates, mergers, takeovers are all dealt over here. Mergers and acquisitions is a far better version of investment banking, because over here you literally have to get down to the basics to ensure the valuations are perfect and you have done your valuations correctly. Now in case of Reliance Jio, they have sold some stakes to foreign parties. Over here, the corporate development was to raise funds in order to ensure that their debt is within the limits. So for this, they have hived off some businesses, some stakes in it, so that that earns a value to the investors. Again, that is a part of investor relations. Treasury is part of managing your kitty well. If you have a few bucks with you in your pocket, how do you prioritize it, how do you spend it is purely your skill. That is why, again, finance is an art. With regards to FP&A, that is an acronym for financial planning and analysis. Whatever you have done, you have to ensure that corrective actions are taken from time to time. That's why analysis is also of a great impetus. You need to make decisions correctly at the correct time so that you have to achieve your desired objectives. In case of public accounting means when you are accounting for public as a whole, when the stakeholders are public at a large and not a closely held company. Due diligence means whether all the compliances are being done. So over here you need to have a upper hand on in case of law. So here LLB degree will play a beneficial role. Transaction advisory and valuation. So valuations and transaction advisory go hand in hand in most of the cases. Transaction advisory is how to perform a particular transaction. You might have heard about the famous case of Vodafone India and Hutchison. So over there, had they taken the transaction advisory earlier from their government by seeking an advance ruling itself, the case would not have lasted so much, because there was an issue with regards to some taxation in case of Indian angle, as it avoided taxes. A transaction advisory safeguards you from potential losses which might turn out to the business. Valuations is value for your business. What is it exactly valued about and how much it is quantified for an investor. So this takes care of your financial career. See, these are various sector, niche sectors which we have carved out and for discussion. Again, this is not limited set, but few major sectors which have a great impetus on this, where you can seriously think of building a career in it. Next thing which I would like to highlight over here is your computer literacy. Yes, because in case we are living in 21st century, wherein technologies are updated uh, uh, within few days. Over here, the recent technologies like artificial intelligence, the blockchains, the new machine learning languages like your Pythons, the R, the C++, and also you might have heard about Internet of Things, wherein each and everything will be connected to other. So, in case of such scenarios, your computer literacy plays utmost importance, because in case you do not update yourself, you will be outdated. So your computer literacy should go on. You should have your certifications. You should do various courses. You should at least understand whatever things are told. Here is a small story. In earlier days, say 3, 4 decades earlier, even say 2 decades earlier, BRICS concept was emerging. That is, the rising economies of Brazil, Russia, India, and China were called as BRICS. Now, the decade in which we are living, the new concept is FANG, 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 which has its Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, as and Google, Google. Everything what we are doing is on internet. So how can we forget the owners of internet in case of our day-to-day career? Now we wish to make a great career. This has to be a major part in it, because even you have seen all the companies who had their online business survived this COVID scenario very well as compared to the traditional motor brake stores businesses did. So it is change is inevitable. So as we, while making a career in case of finance, you have to be utmost cautious, because new technologies will be implemented every now and you will have to keep yourself updated. So as I stated that in my presentation, I would also include what are the types of skill sets required. So these are few skill sets which are required for making a healthy career in your finance, of of which I would like to make a key categorically mentioning of numeric ability. So you have to be very much very much in playful with your numbers, because numbers are powers that you have in case of this finance. If you are well versed with the numbers, how is it done, how is the interest calculated, because every decision you will make, we will make as if you are putting your own money. So you have to be that cautious and you have to be that rational, because you have the investors money at stake, you have the stakeholders money at stake. You need to make proper decisions. You should have proper integrity and honesty, that's for sure, because all the confidential information you will be having, you will have to ensure that that is not taken, that is not monetized by some uh, external forces. Apart from that, you will have to have some interpersonal skills, that is some soft skills which are required. So these are not necessary per se from your CV or say from your building a career, but they are just like salt. Having its presence will not make you matter, but once these skills are lost, everything will be demeaned. Your interpersonal skills, which includes your positive attitude, even your team working, networking, your self confidence, because your communication skills matter, your leadership skills matter. That is how you communicate with your team, how you lead from the front, because these jobs which we mentioned are almost having a seat in the top. You will have to look after every micro aspect of the management of company. So but naturally you need to manage your people and time precisely. So apart from your interpersonal skills, your communication skills, leadership skills, the people and time management are of utmost importance. You need to have a knack of managing your people and time both precisely, because time is valuable, rest all can be earned. This mix is incomplete without your perseverance, your hard work, your dedication, and your sincerity towards your career. Now we have come across various frauds, various scandals, various scams in recent past days in case of financial field, wherein people every day are losing hopes in case of finance. Over here, when we are trying to build a career, we should not be a wolf of Wall Street. We should always try to make our integrity as the utmost valuable thing, because finance is not only of funds, it is management of the entire ecology, because you require everything to prosper with you at the end, because sarve santu sukhina, we all will be in case it is done to all. At the end, I would like to state that focus on everything what you pursue is of great importance, because as Mr. Tata quoted correctly, all of us do not have equal talents, yet all of us have an equal opportunity to develop our talents. It is not about what you have done till now, it is now what you will do later on to build a prosperous career. I wish you all the best in case of your building of your career. I sign off. Thank you.
Ashish, many thanks for your passionate presentation. Uh, as you said, it's very true that focus is an asset. We do have the list of successful startups who had been to college, but they had been dropouts. We do have the names of successful business people who had no knowledge of the business they were venturing into, but later on became very successful. But this list is not an exhaustive one. It is very, very limited. What is not exhaustive, what is unlimited is the stereotypical qualifications of great number of students from different kinds of backgrounds. For them, it is necessary to pick up any relevant career. The mantra, that is focus. Once again, thank you all for your kind participation. I would like to ask questions, if any, being posted on chat box. Prior to that, I thank the entire team of AICPTR for wonderful presentation. Any questions? Any questions here? I request the participant to post their questions, if any, via feedback form. And I thank you all once again. Thank you.